Hello, my topic today is fixing overtaxation of American citizens. Before we start, please take a long look above at the amount of taxes that we are collecting from the citizens of the United States. This does not even include taxes from the businesses. Now, be reminded of the population of the United States, which is only 317 million people. You should care about this overtaxation because it keeps us beat down and from succeeding in life. I can speak about this topic today because I am 45 years old and I have done extensive research on this topic over my life. In this speech, I will claim that since the early 1900s, the majority of its citizens have been beat down by overtaxation, and I will show you how to solve this injustice. Today, I will discuss overtaxation at every level and provide solutions such as eliminating income tax, eliminating property taxes, and having a flat consumption tax. First, I will discuss the problems of overtaxation and where it all started. The history of taxation in the United States begins with the colonial protests against the British taxation policy in the 1760s, leading the Americans to a revolution. The independent nation of the United States collected taxes from imports, tariffs on such things as whiskey, and for a while on glass windows. States and localities collected poll taxes on voters and property taxes on land and commercial buildings. There are state and federal excise taxes. State and federal inheritance taxes began in 1900, while the states, but not the federal government, began collecting sales taxes in the 1930s. The United States imposes income taxes briefly during the Civil War in the 1890s and on the permanent basis from 1913 with the 16th Amendment to the Constitution. Today we have overtaxation on every level. The first income tax was assessed in 1862 to raise funds for the American Civil War, with the rate of only 3%. Today the IRS collects over $2.4 trillion each year from around 234 million tax returns. What this does not include is every other tax we have to pay. As you know, and if you're aware, these include a state income tax, FICA taxes on your check, Social Security taxes, sales taxes on everything we purchase, property taxes, license fees and taxes, and I could go on and on for days. The current IRS code is so complicated. As of 2013, it now takes 73,954 regular 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper to explain the complexity of the U.S. federal tax code. Nobody can possibly fully understand all of our tax code even. The worst crime is that after years of education and hard work, once you finally start to achieve, then the government raises the income taxes on your earnings. I can show this by giving you a breakdown of income and taxes paid by earners. The top 1%, which is around $400,000 a year over, pays 35.1% of the taxes. The bottom 50% of people in the United States only pay 2.9% of the taxes. You add these extra taxes onto all of the other taxes one pays, and it can equal up to 70-80% of your earnings if you're trying to be successful. Then the worst part when you die is they make your family pay death tax. Federally and in most states, this can be up to 40% of your assets over $5 million, which seems like a lot, but if you figure all your cars and property and money over a lifetime, there's a possibility it could all equal close to $5 million. Now that I've discussed the problem of overtaxation, I will discuss the solutions to fix this growing problem. There are three major steps I will discuss. First is eliminating income tax. Second is eliminating property tax. And third is having a flat consumption tax. First, we eliminate our current income tax system. Besides the overtaxation, we spend right at $12 million to operate the IRS, and with the tax bureaucracy, it is $431 billion a year. That is $1.14 for each taxpayer of the United States just to run the IRS. Next, we must eliminate property taxes. They are an unfair state tax that varies where you live. This is another example of how the government punishes success. Once you start finally achieving and want to buy a home in a nice neighborhood with a nice school for your children, there is a local tax that could be up to thousands of dollars per year from you. Where I live in Evanston, Illinois, it is extremely high. One of my customers budgets $3,460 per month just to pay his yearly property tax bill of $41,520. After all my years of research, the best way to tax and be fair is the 15% flat consumption tax. This would mean you pay a flat tax on all goods and services, and that's all. It seems high at first, but if you take out the IRS and all of the other taxes, and all of a sudden it is a lot cheaper and a lot fairer. Why does our government make these changes, you ask? That seems so simple. Because one, they like to overspend the money that they receive in addition to borrowing even more. And secondly, because lastly, our society is based on the upper 1 to 5% controlling the rest of us and beating us down. Capitalism will not work and survive without a working class. That is the definition, that is the way our country runs. In conclusion, I hope you can understand this is a very serious problem and the steps we as a group need to take to fix this crisis. In this speech, I claim that we are overtaxed and that the government keeps us beat down. Today, I discussed overtaxation and provided the solutions to take our future and country back. You can see what a crisis point we are at, and as a group, I look forward into working with you so we all can be successful and succeed in our country instead of what we have now. My references are J.D. Agresti, Taxes, Just Facts, Edward J. McCaffrey, Fair Not Flat, How to Make the Tax System Better, Consumption Tax, The Concise Encyclopedia of Economics, The Numbers, What are the federal government sources of revenue, and lastly, the IRS.gov website itself. That's where I got most of my numbers and information. Thank you for listening to their speech, and I hope you will take this seriously.